The first 4-pointer.
So ball on foot from the kick.
It seemed a very late decision by Moses, Robbie, to kick.
All on side to the right, so we can play on. If we get something close on that, please. It's been identified as not played out on field, but just for the tackle count.
Through the
not played out, so it's still tackle 5. We're playing on this point.
Nickel Klukstar.
Go back played out on field, but just for the tackle count. Ball stolen.
Through the
not played out, so it's still tackle 5. We're playing on this point.
Nickel Klukstar.
Go back played out on field, but just for the tackle count. Yeah, keep that angle, please. That same angle. Just vision of the ball. So it goes slow on this, please. Yeah, the first angle you just showed me then, just for the view of how the ball comes out of the tackle. This one, please, yeah, nice and slow.
Nickel Klukstar and then Manu all get involved in the tackle.
And pulls the ball out. So I'm playing on from this point. So this is play on.
Oh, gee, I don't know.
So it's 2 on 1, but they've played the advantage.
It's reefed away and then possibly touched again.
I've seen all available angles that I need, and I've now made my decision.
Our video referee, Liam Moore, doesn't believe that Lebanon got another touch to it. And we're going to lock in the first try of the match. And just as Fiji did last night against Australia, the underdog scores first.
I got to admit, Vossi, I don't know about that. I thought I saw another right hand in there. But look, they've sent out a message. If New Zealand thought it was going to be a normal run-of-the-mill game, think again. Short kick-off, kicking late at the line, numbers coming through. They had an overlap there as well. That's why Mitchell Moses put the late kick in. You can see him go all the way to the line there. What's he going to do? Last second, kicks it through. The ball goes to hand. Referee's seen that it's been pulled out.
Let's keep controversy going, Robbie.
Sticking in the back of my throat, that one, Bossy.
I thought there might have been a little touch from Morkos on the way through. Moses to have the first shot. Highest points tally of his career this year for Parramatta in the NRL, and successful shot. Well, there you go. Highest points tally 6. New Zealand 0. And that man, Josh Mansour, one of the characters of the game in Australia, wonderful personality, now in the veteran class, scores here for Lebanon.
Show some sign there, though. New Zealand line backing off. When Mitchell Moses gets the ball, when he runs at the line, it worries defences.
And Jordan Rapana gets us back underway. New Zealand going with a more conventional long kick-off. But the Cedars will be feeling very good about themselves. I know there's lots of team spirit on show at the World Cup, but I doubt whether any side has greater morale than Lebanon. They're a very tight-knit group with quite a brains trust with their coaching ranks. We'll see Robbie Farah out on the ground, who captained them in 2017. This is their third World Cup. They played against New Zealand in their first match back in 2000. Good shot over the top there on Kalachi. Fisher Harris in the tackle, and Papali'i. And the kick from Moses from inside the 40. And back with Joey Manu. Certainly one of the players that is anticipated to be a star of the tournament. There was the shot on Kalachi over the top from Fisher Harris. Was given a week off last week. New Zealand played a warm-up game against Leeds and a big win at that. But the Penrith Grand Final contingent rested. Now Rapana. 12 metres inside their own half, New Zealand. Smith is the starting dummy half. They will have Marshall King coming into the game off the bench. No Jerome Hughes tonight. A thigh injury for Jerome. Now for Tapani with number 13 on his back. It's quite a show of strength of New Zealand. They have the 2 NRL props of the year in their starting side. Tapani and Fisher Harris. Kenny Bromwich with a kick through. And Carraz is back there for Lebanon, the young Canterbury Bulldog at fullback for Lebanon. 4 minutes in and we have a 6-0 scoreline to Lebanon. Be interesting to see if the locals adopt Lebanon as their team tonight. They did it for Samoa back in 2013. The ball has come loose from Carraz. And this is a great chance for the Kiwis, 20 metres away from the Lebanon line.
It's one of those things that Lebanon do not want to do. They don't want to be giving up easy ball, letting a team like New Zealand into position.
Now Smith and Dylan Brown, and quick hands from Foreign. Tackle not made there by Mansour. And just like that, the Kiwis are 11 metres from the Lebanon line. Foreign with Brown, and dumped off there for Fisher Harris. Now 3 grand finals he's played. Part of the Penrith connection. Nice stepping from Joey Manu. Has excelled when he's got a chance at fullback. Bromwich off an offload. Has managed to squeeze and slide his way over.
I'm happy with momentum to get to the ground, yeah.
Just checking referee Grant Atkins with his sideline official. We will refer the try. Kenny Bromwich is confident.
Please confirm no double movement on the field. I think it's momentum.
And I think we'll be looking at 6-4 in just a moment.
Live call of a try on tackle 2. Can I please check all available angles for the grounding, please? Can I watch the first one at full speed, please? It's a double movement decision. I want to watch it at full speed first.
Kenny Bromwich in his 12th test tonight. Now 31 years of age.
So he has possession of the ball. Ball's offloaded.
Who's so strong.
Yeah, so can I go slow on that just to confirm he does maintain possession of the ball?
He's got no right to get the pass away here, does he?
Maintains possession. Something slow, just at this angle, yes, please. So he's in possession of the ball. Momentum always takes him towards the line. The tackle is not complete. And the ball is grounded there. Thank you. I've seen all the middle angles I need.
Kenny Bromwich is quite a athletic put down to score the try. He never has a bad game, Kenny Bromwich. He's such a reliable performer. He's actually one of 3 players in this New Zealand squad tonight that will play with the new team in the NRL next year, the Dolphins, coached by the one and only Wayne Bennett.
Well, you were talking about his game intelligence before kickoff as well, weren't you, Bossy? And you can see there, Dylan Brown got into a little bit of trouble. He had no problem whatsoever, just tipping the ball onto Kenny Bromwich earlier in that set where Kenny just put a little kick through. Lebanon just falling guilty of just dropping off the tackle a little bit there. New Zealand making too easy a purchase. You see the ball goes out to Joey Manu, takes the line on. He's in traffic. Really, they've nearly got him to 0 and he's able to get the ball away. They've got to lock on to the New Zealand players when they get their opportunity and make sure that that tackle goes to 0.
It's Joey Manu. He had a number of games at fullback this year, but there was one particular game against the Canberra Raiders back in round 13 of the NRL. He had 31 runs of the ball, 17 tackle busts and 7 offloads in the one game. Now, in your fantasy leagues and your super coach, that was 7,425 points.
Wow.
I'm making that
Were you
up.
playing?
I'm making
Were
that
you
up.
playing that?
It's 1,000,000 points. It is a 6-all scoreline here. Kenny Bromwich has the first try of the Kiwis campaign. His brother Jesse is the captain, and that in itself is a wonderful thrill to have the 2 brothers playing for New Zealand.
Stay back.
Well, I can tell you from experience, Bossy, that it is a wonderful thing. Nothing makes you play harder.
Well, it must give you flashbacks to backyard football as Dwayne goes short kickoff again. Geez, got some height. They won't get it back. That will be knock on first against New Zealand. So they've done it again. 2 rolls of the dice.
It looks
2
like,
wins.
And it did look like New Zealand had prepared for it. They've pushed Joey Manu up. Just caught in traffic there, though. Just holding his leg as well.
Captain's challenge. I thought it looked like it went forward, but we will have a call, and off we'll go to video referee Moore again. He's getting paid by the decision. He's doing well early here.
Video referee to match director. We have a captain's challenge. Can you show me all the best available angles you have to look at the ball and if there was a knock-on first off New Zealand?
It's making for a very
so call is knock off New Zealand first. So any other angles on that, please? So they both jump for the ball. The first angle might be the best one, if you can help me with that one. real slow on this. So both up. Yeah, and that comes off the New Zealand hand first. So the challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, again, I don't know. I thought Abasmiski, having watched the replay, Robbie may have touched it first. But as I say, let's have controversy all the way through the World Cup. I think Jesse's saying, are you sure? Are you serious?
Looking at it
Miski?
again.
It's close.
That left-handed Miskies, I got to admit, am I looking through rose-tinted glasses there? You know, silver fern glasses, is that what I'm looking through? Well, but I saw Miski's hand touching that first.
As it turns out,
hey, but I'm not qualified.
The challenge has been barbecued by the Kiwi, so without a challenge for the rest of the match. And all over Moses. Oh, he's lost the ball as well. Well, that's the rugby league gods, I reckon, looking down and saying, video referee, you might have wanted to go back and watch a few of the decisions.
Interesting that too. Dylan Brown just giving him a little bit of a push on his teammate there, Parramatta teammate.
Wow, what a time for Mitchell Moses. If you don't know the story, Jenny Meadows working sideline tonight and spoke with him pre-match. I mean, he became a dad for the first time a week out from the grand final. He then plays the first grand final of his life. Here he is skippering Lebanon. What an understanding partner he has too, Robbie.
The story, he became a dad via Facebook Messenger.
Oh. She's a keeper, Robbie.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you.
Lock that down.
As New Zealand get a penalty, but on a very serious note for Mitchell, he had the passing of his grandmother. He is the nephew, of course, of Ben Elias, great former Kangaroo, and to Barbara Elias, I'm sure he is playing tonight as a tribute to her, dedicating the performance. There's Fisher Harris ripping into the Lebanese forward pack there. Kalachi was waiting for him. He wants a bit of redemption. Bromwich has knocked off his feet that time, and they've forced the error from the New Zealand captain. Andrew Cassie got a piece of him. Bromwich says, well, I got no challenge. I got nothing left.
Little bubble there. Referee's deemed that he's knocked it on into the Lebanese player. But I tell you what, watch all the Lebanese players come together after this knock on. They know how important it is to them. There's a real unification that you can see in that team as they're playing from the beginning.
You can see Khalil Rami there with a mullet. All business at the front, all fun out the back. He was fired up after the tackle. So Lebanon with the ball and taking it up to the Kiwis tonight. Michael Checker said pre-match they've got their own goals, their own targets they want to hit, their own scoreboard they are playing to. And we'll get a penalty here as a result of this tackle. A little bit of feelings crept into the game. Abasmiski's okay after the tackle. And Papali'i just runs back to his mark. But it was an awkward-looking tackle. There was no need for the picking up of the leg, I don't feel, there.
No, I think the New Zealand players also, they realised the position they had got him into and they didn't slam him down. Just brought him back to ground, but you can't take a building, you know, above the horizontal.
Ball into the terrace on the southern side of the ground. As I like to call it, the Rodney corner of Halliwell Jones. Great pub out the back here. And ball is without mullet man, Rami. So they're 28 metres away from the line, Lebanon. A little chance for a second try, possibly. Dwayhe linking up there with Miski. Playing with Wigan these days, having made his NRL debut with Manly a few seasons ago. Dwayhe across to Moses. The kick is a beauty. Right onto the chest of Mansour. And the sideline official flag is up. But gee, they got some tricks in their bag, Lebanon.
They certainly do, but I've got to say some great work from Ronaldo Mulitalo there. He tracked his player, he tracked the winger across. Just watching him, and then took him over the sideline.
Yeah, Mulitalo's coming off an outstanding season with the Cronulla Sharks in the NRL. But we're loving the short kickoffs. Mitchell Moses has brought his NRL form to the World Cup in the first 11 minutes here. And now Bromwich back with it for the Kiwis. So no easy start for New Zealand, who are on the same side of the draw as the Kangaroos. And if things go according to plan, those two sides would play in the semi-finals. But that's way down the track at this World Cup. Smith taking them short side for the Kiwis, and a quick play the ball will get them up over halfway with Kenny Bromwich. And that is tackle number 5. Back for Brown. And his kick not pinpoint, but it'll find Mulatalo, who's kept it alive for Nickel Klukstar. Play on the call. No restart of the tackle count. Tarpany offloads and an intercept at the end of it. I think it was Romanis who got in the way. And good scramble by Lebanon in the end.
Great scramble. I think for New Zealand, what they need to do is settle the game down. Maybe find a sideline. Bring the game back to 0. I think the game speed at this, and it's a little bit all over the place. It's choppy. I think that's playing into Lebanon's style of game plan right now. I think New Zealand want to go back to a very sort of more modularized, normal type of game. But it started right from that very first kickoff.
Well, we've had the stoppages as well, haven't we, Robbie, with the video referee on tries and on captain's challenges.
It creates a stoppage of momentum, doesn't it? I think one of the keys for New Zealand is this man just trying to do the chase down now. Brandon Smith getting out of act in half. I think that'll help them.
Beautiful kicker of the ball, Mitchell Moses, lovely strike. He doesn't appear to put a lot of effort into it, but he kicks it a long way. It's a great advantage for Lebanon to have that part to their game. And Brown linking up with Manu. So well wrapped up there. That's an exceptional tackle by Tassapali on Manu. He's a professional tackle buster. That's what he puts down on his tax return as his profession. Now Smith with Bromwich, kept going. Brown and Kenny Bromwich, and then Nickel Klukstar there. Didn't play a lot of NRL in the second half of the season at the Canberra Raiders. He's off to the New Zealand Warriors next year. Brown's kick high. Karaz gets nowhere near it. It's got backspin on it and goes into the fence.
Play the ball here, Ronnie, right in the back of him. Play the ball.
Restart of play will be around about 25 metres away from the Lebanon line.
I think Ronaldo just playing for a little bit of gamesmanship there. Actually, we pushed the player over. The ball ended up behind him. So he obviously wasn't watching the ball at that point.
I'll tell you what, if Ronaldo Mulatalo brings his club form to the test stage, and he's only played the one test for New Zealand mid-year this year, he'll be the better performing Ronaldo in England today. 35 metres away from the Lebanon line, bit of to and fro there. They've got it back, steal and steal.
Yep, a little bit of a strip on a strip. Don't see that often.
Yeah, strippers in Warrington. That'll bring the crowds back. Here's Miski with the ball. He knocks Forward over. Old Kieran Forward, he gets up with a smile on his face. But he was put onto his rump there. That was a spirited charge by Miski. And here was the shot. Kieran Foran, 32 years of age. Lebanon with a spread to the right-hand side. They are playing with confidence. There's no question of that. Moses and Dwayhe kept going. Rami just 18 metres away from the line. Kazi back infield. Dwayhe there. Nice hit and spin. Kalachi. He's a real goer. The man wearing the number 8 for Lebanon. Kazi again. Moses, they're playing up-tempo. But we've got an error from the Cedars, and that is quite a let-off.
I'm liking absolutely everything I'm seeing from Lebanon at this point in time. They're moving the ball from left to right. They're not trying to out-muscle New Zealand in the middle of the park. They're playing to the edges, and they're creating space on those edges. And they're not looking to push the pass. They're just looking to chew up yards and get good field position. Everything that they're doing is spot on.
Robbie, you've played a bit of rugby union in your past. It's one of the most incredible stories of the World Cup. Michael Cheika with dual duties, coaching Argentina, the national rugby union side, and here for Lebanon in the rugby league.
You know, and one of the things that he's world famous for is his man management, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
And now we've got a penalty the way of New Zealand. And Grant Atkins all over it. An Australian referee here, James Romanos, called out there. Again, there was a tip in the tackle. And the tip came from probably Robinson and also Tassapali. But again, a soft landing. I think the referee handled it fine, and we can move on. Jesse Bromwich with the ball for New Zealand. 6-all scoreline. The Cedars scored the opening try of the match. And the reply was fairly swift from Kenny Bromwich. Now, Fisher Harris. The fans here, they're waiting for Nelson Asafa-Solomona to come into the game. I saw some kids outside the ground when he arrived. They reckon they'd never seen something bigger. They thought it was a dinosaur arriving in Warrington. He is a giant of the game. So he's still to come. And a cross with Brown. Now Foran dumping it off inside that time with Papali'i. There's another brilliant edge player. This is a very strong New Zealand forward pack. Brown with it. The kick as Mansour ready. What a catch. Mulatalo has taken it back. Nickel Klukstar is with the ball. But Lebanon again scramble. They find enough to hold the Kiwis out.
It's important that New Zealand don't lose their patience. They've been looking at this play. They've put a couple of kicks up to Ronaldo's wing now.
Good leap.
He makes that look easy, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy. That is not an easy skill.
Comparing Ronaldo, Mulatalo to Ronaldo, probably Ronaldo, the footballer, will earn more in a week than poor old Mulatalo will earn in his life. But he's having a good start here. And there's Mansour with the ball for Lebanon. So at World Cup 2017, Lebanon were winners over France, a game that Mitchell Moses was man of the match in. Made it through to the quarterfinals. They lost to the Kangaroos and also to England along the way, and then went down 24-22 to Tonga. And here is Moses kicking. Way back in 2000, they played in the first ever rugby league game indoors at Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. 22-all draw with the Cook Islands. Hazem El Masri, a star that day for Lebanon. Here's Rapana now with the ball. 10 metres inside the Kiwis half. Foran. And now for Petahiku. He's coming off a big year with the North Queensland Cowboys. They fell just short of a grand final appearance. Bromwich of the Kenny kind has got inside the 40. I think they're finding their mojo here, the Kiwis. Quick play down short side. Nickel Klukstar is with the ball. He's turned them around. He's 8 metres away from the line. Last tackle. Could have almost got a set restart there. Smith and Foran. Shallow kick. Rapid is there. Miski's knocked it forward. First knock on against Lebanon. This is still a red-hot opportunity for New Zealand.
Yeah, some promising build-up play there by New Zealand. Just missing out on that kick there. Ball just getting knocked back on and knocked on. But I got to say this, you know, this is what these early rounds are about. If you've not had the yards, you've not had the games, it's about getting those combinations. You can see Dylan Brown just trying to work those combinations with Kenny Bromwich, with Charles Nickel Klotstack. And it's starting to look pretty good. They're starting to get their timing right.
Lebanon had the one warm-up game last week, beating Wales 38-22, and New Zealand, that hit out against Leeds at Headingley. Tribute game for Thomas Luluwai. Part of the celebration at 74-0 scoreline. It's quite a barrier trial, if you will, in racing parlance. Penalty here for offside. It is a differential penalty, so New Zealand will keep the fire burning in attack here. Smith, Tarpany. Just a superb season, Joseph Tarpany. Here he is with Smith, and they crash, or attempt to crash through with Fisher Harris. A real test of the Lebanon goal line defence. Smith clears it for Brown. Left foot step on show. Clip a little high, was it? I'd be surprised if shot at goal is the mode. It's keep it going here. They probably sense they've got Lebanon on the rack. So Brown will take the restart. Fisher Harris is ready to go again at them. 4 metres away from the line. And a 6-all scoreline. First quarter of the match almost complete. Rami had to hang on over the top there. Another quick play the ball. They're winning the battle on the ground, the Kiwis. And 4 defenders there for Lebanon to prevent the try being scored. Effort on effort from the Cedars so far. Big Nelson is out there now. Brown to the right, and Manu off the right foot. Almost able to flick it back there. He got past Dwayhe in defence. Hiku and Brown and Foran. Here he is, Nelson. Nelson Asifa Solomona from the Melbourne Storm in the NRL. 11 metres away from the line. Smith, Foran, Brown floats it over the top. And suddenly the Lebanon defence again is tested. Kept alive by Mulatalo. Foran's kick is low. Hiku getting through. The ball is taken back over the dead ball line. But it will be a line dropout for Lebanon. That's quite a courageous play with so little room between the dead ball line and the fence to go the flying dive through and knock back.
It certainly is, but I've got to take my hat off to this Lebanon scrambling defence. They're absolutely everywhere. They scramble to the right-hand side of the field, and they've got the energy to jump back in as well.
Hiku's work was sharp, but Dwayhe there to save the day for Lebanon.
Can they handle this pressure?
6-all scoreline. Look, they're going short kickoffs. They'll go short dropouts as well. Dwayhe's gone again. He's got the distance. Rapana's got the ball, though. Don't mind it. They've brought a tactic to the World Cup and they're sticking to it, and it's worked for them a couple of times.
You see it a lot in rugby union as well, don't you?
Tarpany to play at 10 metres away from the Lebanon line. Smith takes them right, then the run for Papali'i. Burrows hard, he's got the head bandage now. Smith, Asifa Solomona, right on the Lebanon goal line. Smith again. And changes his mind a couple of times. And then the late offload. There'll be no stopping Nelson. Nelson Asifa Solomona slam dunks the ball down. The grandstand shakes a little. And New Zealand have their second try and the lead for the first time.
You've got to put that down, just a pure New Zealand power. There was not a lot of skill involved in there. You saw Papali'i taking the line on, just coming up short. Then Brandon Smith once again taking it on, and then being able to offload the ball to Big Nelson. Nelson's just getting back there to set up. Stays alive.
Actually, that's just his second try as a New Zealand international, Nelson. He actually scored on his test debut at the last World Cup, and now he's got his second try here. I think he enjoyed that.
He certainly did. But look at the strength of Brandon Smith. Is there another man, pound for pound, as powerful as him?
Oh, he's a determined customer, Brandon Smith. I said earlier, they are winning on the ground at the moment, New Zealand. Suddenly the quick play the balls, and they're starting to hurt Lebanon, as gallant as they were there. If you can't slow them down, there's going to be problems. Rapana successful. Didn't do a lot of kicking at Canberra during the NRL season, but did kick for New Zealand in the mid-year test against Tonga. There you have him, Nelson Asifa Solomona on show in Warrington.
I think one of the telling factors also is when you do, what did we see there? 3 to 4 back-to-back sets, the amount of energy that takes out of you. And I think it's really smart right now. The Lebanese players are not running back to halfway. They're taking their time. They're dictating the pace of this game. They don't want it to speed up. They don't want New Zealand to get into a rhythm. They want to make it messy, make it ugly. They should kick the ball out as much as they can and dictate and take the game down and make sure that they are playing at their speed, not New Zealand.
Here we go again. Short kickoff. Adam Dwayhe he gets
Why
good
not?
height, doesn't he?
It's working for them.
Is that illegal?
I was saying,
He's got out there. Is that legal?
you do that in rugby union, don't you?
He's
Is
got it
that
on.
Michael Checker?
He's got on a witch's hat now. Look at this one. Dwayhe with it. Rapana's there again. Little bobble. He's come up with a ball. So they're 2 from 3 from short kickoffs, Dwayhe, but it's a rehearsed move. And they show no signs of letting up. Now Fisher Harris. Well, his runs have been shades of the grand final a couple of weeks ago in the NRL. Fisher Harris. Now Manu with it. And after a sluggish start, they are now on song, New Zealand. There's no doubt about that. They're making a lot of metres. And of course, that's the risk of the short kick-off. If it doesn't come off, field position for your opponents. Asifa Solomona with the ball.
You can also see the New Zealand camp. Everybody's on the front foot. They're all expecting a break or something might happen.
Foran's kick. Carraz is there. Miski's there. It's bounced away for the Kiwis. Brown got it. But Atkins has ruled New Zealand knock on. They've got no challenges to go to. So ball the way of Lebanon.
White square markers. Let's go, mate.
Referee Atkins had a good view of it. And back will come the Cedars.
It's a dominant tackle. Stand up. Lock in.
These two sides, same group as Ireland and Jamaica. Ireland beating Jamaica today. Lebanon now just outside their own 20. They probably need big input from their bench. They're flagging a little at the moment. Carraz twisted back there. Some of the Cedars not too happy about the tackle. Asifa Solomona gets in the face of Jacob Carraz. Jacob, I'll give you some advice. You are fighting out of your weight division, young man. Show the big fella respect.
He's having
Call
a
him
laugh
sir.
now. He's having a laugh.
Seriously. Oh, he's got him. He's got him in the head. But if I lived next to Nelson Asifa Solomona, I'd put his bin out on garbage night. He'd be Mr. Asifa Solomona to me. Don't make the big Blake angry. Here's Moses, kicking from outside the 40. Got a carry on that, and Mulatalo's underneath it. And straight away across to Manu. And the Kiwis begin a set just outside their 10-metre zone. And we've had 28 and a half minutes. Good entertainment, this one. 5th game of the World Cup. On a day where there have been victories to Italy and to Ireland. On the back of what we saw yesterday with England and Australia. We're here to see if the third of the heavyweights can win here. A set restart for the Kiwis. You've got to be impressed with what you're seeing from James Fisher-Harris, Robbie. He really is one of the premier front rowers in our game now.
He certainly is. Every time he runs the ball with essence. Everything's coming at you, and he leaves it all in that tackle.
Now Smith on the run. Left on the ground was Kalachi for Lebanon. He's back up now. Tarpany with it, centre ground. And an offload for Papali'i. Not sure where the pass came from. Manu with it. Inside the Lebanon 20. Lovely stepping from Manu. Wasn't able to pass right at the death. But again, the pressure is intense. And straight out of dummy half. And plunging over to score. Petahiku it is. Who is over for New Zealand. Quick play the balls again. Lebanon on the ropes.
That's right, a great example there of sustained pressure, just running out out in half, keeping the pressure in and around the tiring players around the ruck, keeping them on the back foot. Joey Manu there just keeping the ball alive, and everyone knows that he can pass the ball out of anywhere. You see the lineup, everybody jumps out wide, and Petahiku just able to just squeeze over there.
Actually, once was a wolf. Petahiku, short stint with Warrington. And here he is scoring. Actually, he scored a hat-trick at the last World Cup in the Kiwis match against Scotland. Not a prolific try scorer by any means, Petahiku, but again, another another rugby league professional. He's done a terrific job with the Cowboys this year.
Yeah, he was great for Warrington when he was here. And I tell you what, just great building of pressure from New Zealand. They've decided to go the physical route. They put Big Nelson, Asafa Solomona on. He's just running. He's taking a lot of energy out of the Lebanese players. You can see their forward pack starting to tire now. You watch New Zealand will start to pour the pressure on. Backs, outside backs, the big outside backs are coming in, starting to take a little bit of weight off, trying to get quick play the balls, trying to speed up their ruck play up to Lebanon, really to dig in deep and try and slow it down, get to half-time.
Responsibility on Jordan Rapana. Not, as I say, not a first choice kicker necessarily in the NRL. He's more or less dabbed that one over. He didn't over club it, did he? He's just picked the right club to go the distance to get him to the hole, if you like.
It was almost lazy, wasn't it? Just sort of saunders up there and just give it a good chop. He's a lot more accurate than I am with that pitching wedge. Great work there by Pirahiku. Just good power. And I think you see it looks like good power when you have a tiring forward pack. And that's what we've got at the moment.
Well,
the Lebanese have done a fantastic job in these opening 20 minutes, but it's been poured on them.
Just on the goal kicking, Rapana's now kicked more goals for New Zealand in 2 games this year than he kicked in all this year for the Raiders. He only kicked 7 goals for Canberra this season. That is the long short kickoff from Lebanon that time. And meantime, there's a bit of judo going on here. The play continued, and all I saw was one of the Lebanon players thrown to the ground. So tempers simmer, and Atkins was all over it, and Kalachi's in the middle.
I think it's Big Nelson again.
So watch what happens. Here it is, Kalachi, and there it was. Well, come on. I said don't make the big fella angry. No one's taking my advice.
Don't poke the bear, do you?
No, that's it. No.
Just
so,
leave him in his...
Here it is. Oh, no, well, Nelson bumped him, and Kalachi's taking none of it. Nelson has just given him a WWE move into the turnbuckle. Asafa Solomona, I don't know about the bump, I don't know whether any of it warrants anything, to be honest. But if you're going to say first infringement, it's Nelson who had no right to bump Kalachi.
There's a little bit of contact just before that bump. Chest on chest stuff.
Let's go. I want to get this up.
Yeah,
let's
just play on.
That's nonsense.
Let's play on. That's right.
It's nonsense.
Right. It's nonsense. Beautifully put, Brett Atkins.
No more running.
It's 5-star nonsense, but in the rule book, there's no penalty for nonsense.
Yes.
So we play on.
I like that call.
Yes, it's good. It's good.
Just crack on.
That's it.
Get up, Petter.
So the Kiwis with the ball 30 metres out from their own line. Here he is. He's become the villain quickly. Asafa Solomona. Now Tarpany.
He's having a great game. He's struggling with him. His footwork is just brilliant at the line, and his power.
Back here. Go forward. Come back here, mate. Come on, work.
Smith getting the moving forward with Manu. Gee, you've got some fair revision to do out of the first 48 hours of the World Cup, comparing forward packs, what England did against Samoa, what the Kangaroos did, what New Zealand are doing here. High ball, Hickley has knocked it forward, and Lebanon are back with it. They're hanging on. It's not a piece of rope, it's just a thread they're hanging on to at the moment. There's 3 or 4 players struggling to get back on side as they toil their way out of their 20-metre zone here. And without any sort of go forward, suddenly Moses is not into the game, nor Dwayhe, their star halves. And it is a very good pairing.
And it's hard to get a good kick away as well. I mean, you're having to go really deep. If the opposition's defence is getting in your face, to get a good kick away, get good field position, that's tough.
That time, Fisher Harris in the tackle, hung on for a fair amount of time on the Shah, who's out there in jumper 10 for Lebanon. All revved up, ready to go. Moses attacks the short side. The kick, and back it comes, and wow, Mulatalo, he went quick back. And Manu and the Kiwis with a bit of attack from inside their own 20. I can tell you in the background, James Fisher Harris has been taken from the field for New Zealand, uninjured, scheduled interchange.
New Zealand were lucky there. We were just talking about Mitchell Moses not being able to play. but he actually got the opportunity there. They had a 3-on-2 with New Zealand, just weren't able to execute.
Now here's the depth, folks, of the New Zealand side. They bring Marata Niukore into the match at Parramatta. For the back half of the season, he was a starter in the Eels side that made the grand final. He's coming off the bench here.
The cheese.
Big ground down the middle now. And then the ball is stripped away from Manu and a penalty. Not square at marker. Again, no one's thinking shot at goal from centre field. Moses trying to slow things down.
New Zealand are desperate to speed things up.
So, from the tap. And Asifa Solomona taking 3 defenders to have a crack at him. They grab a leg, an arm.
It just burns so much energy.
Brown, short pass. And Niukore will play it. He's off to the New Zealand Warriors next year. Brown right side, foreign right foot step. Brown trying to bring some speed off the mark. He's only 4 metres away from the Lebanon line. It is 3 tries to 1 at the moment. It could be 4 in a matter of seconds. They have taken over total control of this game, New Zealand. Brown, Foreign, Smith, and then kept going. Kenny Bromwich away. Mulatalo with the ball. Good defence from Lebanon covering the width of the field. Last tackle, the Foreign kick between the uprights, and a lovely catch at the back. That is some save from Dwayhe. And Lebanon back from the 20-metre zone. I mean, give them a pat on the back.
They scrambled
for how
hard
they've
once
defended
again.
inside their own 20.
They certainly did. They scrambled hard, and they've got the just desserts for it. New Zealand are really starting to up their game. They're trying to up tempo, the speed of the play, the balls. They're pouring everything on Lebanon, and Lebanon are just hanging on. They're doing themselves proud. I mean, you got some tired players out there. We saw it before. They had 4 players trying to get back on side after the 3rd tackle.
The penalty helps the cause as well. So Moses puts it into the south stand here. 5 metres inside the New Zealand half. And Bazaz out there for Lebanon, wanting a quick play the ball. He's left 2 on the ground for the Kiwis. In fact, Tarpany is hurt here for New Zealand. Not sure what the problem is. A knock-on rule against the Kiwis. And time off for the injury here. He's been split. Joseph Tarpany. There's a fair deal of claret coming from the head here, if not the beak. The nose of Joseph
like
Tarpany.
I think a little bit of friendly fire happened then. 2 of the Kiwis coming in together, head on head.
So here it is. Let's watch it again. Joseph Tarpany. Yep. Oh, boy.
Big Nelson.
And there it is, Nelson's head.
Big Nelson's bond straight on the...
See, Nelson's big everywhere. I've said that before. And...
That's not a bad injury. It's a painful injury, and it makes you look really silly as well because your eyes puff up like Panda Bear. But, I mean, it's not a limb, right? It's not a knee joint. It's not pretty to watch either.
Robbie Hunter-Paul giving an interesting take on the misfortunes here of Joseph Tarpany.
Well, I've had my nose broken a few times for exactly that type of play.
Don't tell me it's raining here in Warrington, is it? My goodness. Who would have thought? I thought it only got sunshine in Warrington. There we go. Michael Maguire. Have to do a little reshuffle here. I don't know. Are you entitled to keep the clock off here with the bloke dealing with the bloodied nose?
Yeah, he's going to have to go off.
There he is. Joseph Tarpany will go from the field.
That's a big blow for New Zealand. He was getting some real purchase, was Joseph Tarpany.
Yeah, well, his stats 11 hit-ups for 93 metres, a dozen tackles as well. I mean, there's quality and quantity about Joseph Tarpany's work. And he's brought NRL form into Game 1 of the World Cup. So Britton Nakora will come out there, a representative from the Cronulla Sharks in the NRL. He comes into the pack. To see Marshall King. Oh, Lebanon. Pass. Not precision at all, and they squander a chance there. Don't even get to tackle number one. Good catch there by Papali'i. Offloading, and then Nickel Klukstar with the ball over halfway. This was the error. Moses pass and doesn't find Miski, who'd come in all the way from the left wing. And now more of the same for New Zealand. They've just got to find a way, Lebanon, to get through the next 2.5 minutes. Defending, Asifas Solomona falling and passing. Bromwich to Nickel Klukstar.
So impressed with Lebanon's scramble defence. They're keeping a tight defence to deal with New Zealand's size, but when New Zealand move it, they scramble so hard. They're not giving up.
Now Smith proving quite a handful and kept alive for Papali'i. Loses the ball. Play on the call, no. It has gone forward. It was play on if Lebanon came up with the ball, and that's quite a let-off for the Cedars.
It certainly was. That pressure was building. Again, Papali'i, they're just running a really good line, trying to get that offload. Maybe a little bit, New Zealand's trying to overplay just a little bit. You can easily go to ground there and start to build more pressure, valued pressure.
Yeah, by our count, Robbie, we've got 9 errors in the first half of New Zealand, and obviously that's...
And the Cedars have only come up with 5.
Half a dozen offloads as well in this first half by New Zealand. But still, a really strong effort from Lebanon. A massive underdog here. Scored the first try of the match. To only be 12 down at halftime, given the way the Kiwis have played the last 20 or 25, I think is a pretty good effort. Tanous out there with dummy half roll now. Mikey Tanous from the West Magpies under-21s back in Australia. And you can see here not a whole lot of energy in this set. They are very much limping to half-time, figuratively, as Moses kicks long. Mulatalo. Still time for the Kiwis to post a 4th try. Mulatalo. A bit of ducking and weaving by him. He could develop to be one of the personality players of this World Cup, Ronaldo. He's a wonderful young man. Loves the game, loves living the dream of a rugby league player, and here he is representing the Kiwis. 10 metres inside the Kiwis half. Smith goes long. Hiku kept it going for Rapana. He's got Nakora on his outside, couldn't find him. They're 12 metres inside the Lebanon half. Final seconds of the first half. Manu attacks. Ball doesn't find the mark. It's another Kiwi error to go to half-time. They've scored 3 tries to 1. They'll be happy, but know there's big room for improvement. And Lebanon will be proud, but know that it's going to be quite a fight the next 40 minutes. Half-time, 3 tries to 1. It is New Zealand 18, leading Lebanon 6.
Foxtel broadband is seriously fast, like a cat. Not this cat. And with your first 2 months on us, there's never been a more perfect time to switch. Just call 135 704.
Lights out.
The most important thing is how you appear to the jury. The jury is everything.
The 12. Watch on demand.
At Truck Assist, we only cover one thing. Specifically, trucks for landscaping, trucks for cabinet making, bed trucks. Smell that bread truck. Trucks for chippies, ones for brickies. Oh, and really big vans. We get your business sorted. With roadside assist if your battery says nope. Downtime cover if this is your only hope. And motor cover if things don't go to plan.
G'day, mate.
That's insurance from the specialists. Truck Assist, it's what we do.
So we're at Sydney Motorsport Park today. We've got 4 celebrities split into 2 teams of 2. I'm excited.
I'm too competitive, so obviously Gordy and I, New South Wales Queenslanders, we have that rivalry to win.
We're building up a couple of celebrities, that's what we're doing. So Jess and Gordon are in for a rude shock because my hidden career is motorsport.
Ben's feet won't touch the pedals after Seabass gets out, so we don't have any problem.
The funniest thing has definitely been watching Tallis try to get in and out of the car. He's a huge unit, and even just watching him try to put the helmet on is hilarious, so that's been very entertaining.
Thanks for joining us behind the scenes of the Out of Their League Racing Championship, brought to you by Toyota. Catch the whole version on KO, just search for Out of Their League.
We had winners, we had losers, but no spoilers. We're the real winners because we get to hug Gordon Tallis.
Okay then, so New Zealand 73 play the balls as opposed to Lebanon's 44, which is what you'd expect for the attacking side, the side that are in the lead. And complete sets 20 compared to Lebanon's 11. Total metres gained 625 as opposed to 328. Again, New Zealand starting to dominate really in this first half. Average metres gained 5 on both sides. And passes, 114 for New Zealand and 64 for Lebanon. So I'm joined by Robbie Hunter-Paul again. Robbie, what did we make of that first half?
Look, I thought it was a great first half for both teams. Look, Lebanon came up with the unknown factor. They did short kickoffs, going to the line, throwing the ball around, and I thought they just did a fantastic job of really scrambling hard on defense as well. They've done their homework. I put a big question mark on that try right there. What I saw a Lebanese hand touch that ball last. Well, but, the refs are never wrong.
Yeah,
they're more higher qualified than I am.
And Kenny Bromwich got over next, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Just pure strength here by Joey Manu. He's able to keep the ball alive. Ball to Kenny Bromwich. And, when he's that close to the line, there was a 2-metre gap there. He just dug his nose down and made sure that he got over. But, this is what we were talking about, Lebanon just falling off on a number of tackles, and it's probably why New Zealand's had so many sets. They've been able to promote the ball and get these back-to-back sets. It will take its toll. I don't think New Zealand's going to be too upset about how things have gone, purely and simply as they know that the energy levels of Lebanon will be low. But what they need to do is just get a little bit more structure. And once again, the power game. This time, Brandon Smith, 3 players, and he's no right to get the ball away there. Big Nelson, Asufa Solomona. I mean, that's a gift for a front rower. Front rowers aren't supposed to score tries, and he'll absolutely love that. By the end of the night, he'll be telling everyone how he scored that try from 50 metres out. And then you see Brandon Smith, pound for pound, one of the strongest men in the world of rugby league, gets the ball away that he should never have got it, and dream come true for Big Nelson.
And then the final try came from
Peter this Hiku, is just game smarts. You could see Peter Hiku identified sort of a little bit of a nod to the left. Tied defender at marker, was able to get a 3-on-2. Defenders jump out, give him a little bit of a shot, and he's able to squeeze over.
Lovely stuff. Well, rivals Australia got off to a winning start at the World Cup against Fiji yesterday, so let's take a look at some of the action from Headingley last night.
And the second match of Rugby League World Cup 2021 as the defending champions begin their campaign. It's Australia against Fiji.
Threaded through into backfield, the chase is on, Hunt onto Murray, now Cherry Evans, good ball movement here, they split the line, that's brilliant! Jeremiah Nanai!
You can't complain with what Fiji, and on that, oh dear.
Josh Adokar, they've released him into space, he's got support from Munster, he may not need him, Josh Adokar hits the afterburners for Australia! What a length of the field reply that is! And Josh Adokar. Great opportunity here for the Kangaroos. Murray. Unrelenting carry from him. Harry Grant is on for Australia. Now into the hands of Munster for Creighton. Oh! Did he get that down? He celebrates as if he has. And Chris Kendall confirms it.
Yeah, just grabbed a quick word with Wise Katavarata, the assistant coach, is in charge in the absence of Joe Rambele. He's happy with Fiji's effort as Australia attack now.
They might well score here, and it's Latrell Mitchell who finishes off a searing break. Too quick even for you, Damien. Perhaps Harry Grant skipping. Harry Grant opening up himself. What a solo score from Harry Grant. Drifted, straightened up, punched his way through. And the pressure here. Grant swings one way and swings back the rest. Here comes Tedesco. Nice ball whip from James Tedesco. Has the skipper Yes, he has. James Tedesco, fleet of foot, sharp of mind, scorer of try. Poised to take that into space here, and he's poked his nose through. Clever kick, Josh Adokar to get a second, and that is a magnificent score that brings up the 40. Want to be breached again. Tanguy Tuimua, back to Wakeham. It's a clever kick. It's been snapped forward by Taruma, and Samir Taruma gets a try, which is greeted with cheers from all around Headingley. Fiji have been brave, and they get their reward for sticking in the contest. The game might have gone, but they'll enjoy that one. But Australia rocked.
2 undisputed titles on the line. This pay-per-view is wild.
Want to build a new home but need to move in now? We have fixed price completed homes ready to buy with premium inclusions in the best locations. Get the Edgewater Homes Everyday Advantage. Buy a completed home and move in now. edgewaterhomes.com.au.
There's only ever two you meet. One who keeps things nice and neat. Silence is their quiet treat. Then there is a different beast, marching to a savage beat. Followers left in dusty heaps. These ones leave the rules in pieces. The next generation Ford Ranger Raptor.
Step into a dream with Western Australia holidays on sale at Flight Centre. Experience another world as you make tracks from Perth to Broome on an unforgettable 16-day motorhome voyage from $4,778 for two. From the turquoise waters of Ningaloo Reef to the red sand and marbled rocks of Karajini National Park, Western Australia will awaken your senses and leave you wanting more. Don't sleep on it. Book with a Flight Centre travel expert today. Flight Centre.
PlayStation.
England are going through hands. Callum Watkins has one thing on his mind, and that's to get underneath the sticks. And England stretch the lead again. Victor Radley playing in the dummy half position now. Chris Hill takes it on. England are looking for more. They want some more. It's pumped out towards Herbie Farnworth. And Herbie Farnworth is the latest starlet to make a name for himself.
Release him. Go, one.
Big muscular effort from Whitehead. Has he got in? Here comes Makinson, going to go on the outside. He's got the pace. They're queuing all forward pass. No, the referee says play on. The referee says play on. And Elliot Whitehead has scored again. Scored again.
Oh, you gave yourself up there. Go, one.
Williams with a kick to the corner. Here they go. Makinson. Makinson. The latest to join the celebrations. Williams in, Williams over, England unstoppable. The World Cup charge has started here today. England with Radley, Radley spinning it left, Burgess, Burgess, Tom Burgess. How long is that list of try scorers now?
Well, what an opening performance from England and what a result. Let's see how Group A stands up then. So England in top spots and France and Greece are yet to play tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. in Doncaster. But back to Group C, back to tonight, and Robbie Hunter-Paul, he's back with me. Robbie, it's not been as a convincing first half of New Zealand. I mean, you know, they have dominated really, but the result's only 18-6. So what do you make of it?
You know what, I think we saw something similar with Australia yesterday. It's about learning to work on some combinations. They had a bit of a mix-match team last week. It was more about blowing out the cobwebs physically. I think we've seen that again in this half. Combination is what it's really about. It's about making sure that the spine of your team know how to complement one another, and they work on that. It's not about being the best team on day one. I was saying this about England yesterday. It was like, have they peaked too early? You know, I'm throwing that into the universe. Possibly. Have they peaked too early? No, I don't think they have. I think their preparation was just a little bit better. More time on the ball, more time working with those combinations. And New Zealand, definitely, they've got to I just thought that the biggest thing that stood out for me was maybe they didn't look like an out-and-out general, which is probably what Jerome Hughes is for New Zealand. So, you know, I think it's a great opportunity.
Well, we can see Lebanon, can't we, now? I mean, in a word, are they still in it?
You know, I really started to see them tire in the last 10, 15 minutes. They're really starting to drag their knuckles. So it's going to be they're going to need a big dig to keep that energy level high like it was throughout that first half.
Well, Robbie Hunter-Paul, we'll wait and see. Thanks so much. I'll hand you back to your commentator, Andrew Voss.
Micah Checker has come back from the dressing rooms. Interesting shots. They stayed on their feet at half-time. Lebanon. There was some energy in that room. Michael Maguire, very succinct it appeared with his instructions to the sides. He's expecting a little more from the team, and that is fair. 10 errors from the Kiwis in the first half. They had almost twice as many sets as Lebanon. Mitchell Moses remains a key man at looking to keep his side in the match. They get any sort of possession, his kicking game will be a factor. They can keep it down New Zealand's end. They've ticked a few boxes, but there's a few more to tick in the second half. The Kiwis under coach Michael Maguire. The great man Darryl Halligan there with a hood over the top. One of the greatest goal kickers of all time. Part of the coaching staff. 18-6 is the scoreline. We've got all bar a ball and a kicking tee to start the second half. Halliwell Jones Stadium here in Warrington will be host to 3 matches during the World Cup. We'll have PNG against the Cook Islands and also Samoa against France to bring to you. There it is. Michael Maguire, wow. Something's happened here. Someone to get off. I'm just having a look, and it is. They got the players wrong. So he's ordered Papali'i to come off the field, and the Cora went back on. Second half is underway off the boot of Jordan Rapana. That was an interesting one for New Zealand. Very late change to the 13 they had on the field to start the second half. And Lebanon with first use of the ball now. And it is Mansour, their try scorer, with the run. Able to offload a little bit of adventure inside their own 20. Well, I think what we learnt from Lebanon in the first 40 minutes is they will continue to try their hearts out. And I make no apology for saying this. I don't think you're going to see a Samoan-like performance by the Lebanese team here tonight. There'll be no white flag put up.
No, not from what we've seen in the opening 40 minutes of the game. They've just kept coming all night long. It's just whether or not their energy levels can keep at that intensity, which they need to play against a team of this quality. What I want to see from New Zealand's point of view is, though, that's the spine of their team just working a little more cohesively together.
Towering floating kick by Dwayhe. That is quite the catch at the back from Joey Manu. That was scary. The kick from Adam Dwayhe. Torpedo bomb. That is now part and parcel of the armoury of the best kickers in the world.
It certainly is, and you could just see there was movement on the ball. The ball just does not follow a normal trajectory. It goes all over the place, and you can see Joey Manu just then struggling to get underneath it.
And now Lebanon get an opportunity with a turnover. Bazaz takes the run, so they're 15 metres out. They scored the opening try of the match, early minutes of the first half. They've got an opportunity to do it in the second. This is how the ball was turned over. One-on-one strip. El Zakam it was, and then in turn they've made an error to release the pressure valve on the Kiwis right there.
Is that a game plan of theirs to do one-on-one strips? I think they've been talking about it. I think that's the third one we've seen so far in this game. And New Zealand need to get to the program with that. If they're carrying the ball, they can't carry loose. They need to stay tight, or else they're just going to continue to hand the ball back to Lebanon.
Tanous with a forward pass on the left. It was in the unforgivable category. 10 metres out from your opponent's line, full set to work. And the acting half throws the forward pass. What an experience, though, this is for some of these players. Some of them have played at the previous World Cup, but this is one heck of a stage for blokes out there that have never played NRL, haven't played first grade in top-tier competitions, and here they are against a superstar side in New Zealand. Nakora there out on the right edge. Work was done at half-time on the nose of Joseph Tarpany. 5 short of halfway. Now Smith and Brown throwing short for Kenny Bromwich. And back with Foreign actually played in that 2013 World Cup game here against Samoa, as did Jesse Bromwich. Lebanon with the ball 15 metres out from their own line. For those of you, in particular those in England watching the number 6 tonight for Dylan Brown, I probably say to you, think Sean Johnson 2013, because he's showing signs that he will be part of this New Zealand side for a decade, Dylan Brown, and he's got the Sean Johnson step in him. So it's been quite a passing of the baton in the playmaking department for New Zealand. Now Dwayhe will kick from inside the 40. He's got the distance on the kick. He's got the angle. Superb work from Adam Dwayhe. That is some shot fired by Lebanon there.
Absolutely brilliant. You can just, he gets on the front foot. Joey Manu's just too far out to the right-hand side. And I tell you what, absolutely brilliant work. That's what they needed. New Zealand had given them a really good defensive set. One quick play the ball. Dwayhe gets on the front foot and great kick.
Again, tactics they've brought to the table, Lebanon. They know they can't match the star potential of the other team, but they've brought a game plan and they're putting it out there. Error there. Ball was stripped. Penalty Lebanon. 9 metres out from the New Zealand line.
You would argue they've got a lot more cohesion as well. There's one person, there's one general out there. That's Mitchell Moses. He's orchestrating absolutely everything, and that gives a freedom to the rest of the players.
It's a good
That's something that New
observation.
Zealand could take a little bit of a cue out of their book.
El Nashar to play at 9 metres away from the line. So right side, Dwayhe, Moses, Skip inside, ball for Mansour. 5 metres away, Karaz, quick play the ball that time. El Zakham held. Moses now, high ball for Karaz. This young fella, he won the Steve Mortimer Award, which is Rookie of the Year at the Canterbury Bulldogs this year. Moses delivers another pinpoint pass. Took a good tackle from Nakora to stop the run of Romanos. And now Lebanon, chance left side, Miski on the end of it. They scored the first in the first half. They've scored the first in the second. This is a Lebanon side having a red-hot crack in this first match for them at the World Cup.
I tell you what, don't they look good? Everybody falling into the right positions, everything coming up right, being moved around the park by Mitchell Moses. Here we can see that incredible kick by Dwayhe there, giving them the opportunity in New Zealand's quarter and just being able to build pressure there. Gone out to the right-hand side, come back to the numbers on the left. Lead runners, quick hands, try score.
Abbas Miski. Mansour got the first one, so the two wingers have scored the tries. They've pulled back within 8 of New Zealand. And this man, Abbas Miski, I mentioned earlier, played half a dozen games in the NRL at Manly before heading to England and playing with the London Broncos and now Wigan. And Mitchell Moses will get his second shot at goal of the night now. Gee, Miski, there was a match this year, wasn't there, in the Super League? He got 4 tries against Toulouse in one game. Be lovely if you get a double here for Lebanon. Got a try-double at the last World Cup in that match against Tonga that they lost in the quarterfinals. And Moses with a kick. He's 2 from 2 from the sideline at Halliwell Jones Stadium.
Oh, he's having a game and a half as Mitchell Moses. I tell you, with his organisational skills, but also when he gets ball in hand, New Zealand are just rocking back on their back feet, just giving them too much space and time. That's respect. That is respect. You know what he can do. He can skip out. He's got an incredible running game, but his decision-making also.
And I'm told their coaching structure, and as I said, it's a high-credentialed panel they have. Robbie Farrell looks after the attack. Matt King's their defensive coach. Michael Checker overseeing operations. Tony Ray part of the fold. So they're all buying in here. This fella's had a go too. Kazaz coming off the bench. Jalal Bazaz with yet another run. This time Mansour, and they spread it inside their own 20. So there's no easy go for New Zealand here. It's start again this second half. They were able to replenish the energy levels at half-time, Lebanon.
It's been part of their game plan. They have no problem with moving the ball a little bit wide and playing to the edges. I mean, they've probably recognised that if they just try to go through the teeth of that big New Zealand pack, it's going to be a long day at the office. So play to the edge, get a one-on-one, get a quick play the ball.
Dropped off there for El Nashar. Right on halfway, Lebanon. And Dwayhe. Oh, he's got it going again. This one. Interesting trajectory. Manu was under pressure. They were coming at him.
A little bit easier to catch that one for Joey Manu. Even though he had traffic, ball just didn't quite come cleanly off Dwayhe's foot there.
Well, Atkins has ruled high tackle. I think the defence here from Lebanon, they were saying, well, he's not far off the ground. Yeah, wow. Moses has got him when he's half a metre off the ground and it's called a high tackle. Well, anyway, we move on, and Asifa Solomona with a ball for the Kiwis. Head contact, can't disagree with the referee, has to blow a penalty. But Moses thought he had a case. 40 metres away from the Lebanon line with Tarpany. We saw a great opening spell from Fisher Harris. We wait for his second stint in the game. Now Foran, and with it is Manu. That time going for the short ball. Just outside the Lebanon 20. Kiwis looking to come straight back after conceding that try. Kenny Bromwich with it. Fend out in front. Brad Morkos there, the young Raider. It's a big step up for him tonight. Straight away to dummy half. Nickel Klukstar, they caught them offside. Well, that's interesting. We were told there would be no set restarts for offside. Maybe that's reflex action from Atkins there. Foran goes wide out. Manu kept it going for Hiku with a little shuffle. Little close to the corner. Conditions a little slippery now. You want to stay away from those sidelines. Foran and Smith for Brown. And then Nickel Klukstar wrapped up again by outside in defence of the Cedars. Smith with it. Tarpany for the Kiwis. 5 away from the line. You can make it 3. Fourth tackle down. Crash run at the line. But somehow Lebanon find a way to stop the onslaught. That was Niakore who went close. Then Foran is held up. That's a mighty effort from Lebanon.
Yeah, to take nothing away from Lebanon's defence here, but just there's an example. New Zealand just not quite singing from the same hymn sheet in the halves. The kick wasn't set up. Players are kind of getting over each other. And New Zealand keep resorting to this power play, trying to muscle their way over the line. It has worked for them, but I think I'd like to see some of the half-back play and, joining up with a few more of the set plays out wide.
So Lebanon back with it off their own line. And again, they're a little fired up, the Kiwis. The fact that they're Not quite on song and attack. Robinson with the ball. He's 35 years of age now, Robinson. Another campaign here at the World Cup. Set restart goes the way of the Cedars. For Solomona, slow to clear there. Moses, whoa, he gets collared there by Nicol Klukstad. Now Dwayhe, and away from Nicol Klukstad, who, by the way, he's also got a bit of Norwegian heritage. So if Norway make it somewhere down the track in the World Cup, he'll be the first picked. Here's Manu. Last tackle. And Moses on the run. Linking up, nice hands along, and this time Mansour, kick back in field, lots of Cedars jumpers there. Ball is then intercepted right on the goal line, but the daring of Lebanon is on show again.
So exciting once again. Mitchell Moses just kicks out, he slips out, he understands that the New Zealand winger's gone back for the kick, release the space, and this is anybody's ball. Unlucky.
Beautiful range on the kick from Mansell. That was a beauty from the sideline. Now New Zealand under pressure with ball in hand.
Lebanon can sniff something here. They're sniffing something.
Oh, Robbie, I think you're hopping on the Lebanon bus here.
Caught up in the dream.
28 metres away from their own line, New Zealand. Stepping over the ball, Fisher Harris is back on the field. Brown now. The Lebanon players, El Nashar, he was tripped over in the support. Now Manu, a little bit of stepping, one-handed carry. Manu is with the ball. He is some player. Joey Manu back to Dylan Brown. Joey Manu puts a stake in the ground for what could be a claim to be player of the tournament a month down the track. He's gone from superstar to megastar over the last couple of years. That man, Joseph Manu.
So strong. You know, it's a commentator's curse. As soon as I say I'm smelling something from Lebanon, what happens? Players come on. Joseph Manu, you can see Smith just gets out acting half there, powers through the tackles once again. And Joseph Manu's got no right here. He's got absolutely no right. The ability to keep your feet at that point as well. And great work from Dylan Brown there, doing what every good halfback should do, trail up the middle of the field.
A little bit of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck about all of that from Joseph Manu. He's just an incredible player now. You can play him centre, he gets to play a lot because James Tedesco is the first choice fullback, quite obviously at the Roosters, but he's filled in at 5'8" before. He is just a mega star. That's what he is. It wouldn't matter what numbers on his back.
Box office, right? You love going, as soon as he gets the ball in his hand, you know that he's got one of those big giant pits as well. You know, the big giant mid-hand that actually it looks like a Harlem Globetrotter when he's promoting the ball.
Joseph Manu, 26 years of age, and maybe the best is still to come, and that's what's scary as Rapana puts it over for 24 points to 12. But the try all about the setup of Joseph Manu. It's precocious talent, really.
Well, that's the thing. You've got to deal with his footwork, and then once you've dealt with his footwork, you've got to deal with his power. Once you deal with his, if you've not dealt with his power, he's got his speed. He's got everything.
Yeah, fans here at Warrington tonight will go away knowing they've seen a very special player. Great to see so many clubs represented here too when you mix with the fans that have come along tonight, and that's certainly been the theme of the first couple of days of the World Cup. I met some officials last night at Headingley from the Boston Buccaneers, a grassroots rugby league club. They have only one team, but they fly the rugby league flag up in the East Midlands. So good on you, the Boston Buccaneers. I'm joining them. They're my club. One of my clubs.
You got him, bossy.
I've got a lot of clubs. All clubs and a golf pro, I'll
Wherever
tell you.
you lay your hat.
But the Boston Buccaneers, good luck to you fellas. You're one team. You keep doing your bit for rugby league.
New Zealand seem to have clicked into another gear now.
This is the sort of play they got going in the first half, and Aliera's pulled them up. Chip over the top. It's Manu again. He's got the ball back again. Joey Manu, stop the fight. What a play. Joseph Manu. Forget Ronaldo at Man United. Who's he? Joey Manu's putting on the best show in the UK today. He's the best footballer here right now.
What have we just seen? We saw everything we were just talking about in one play right there. He picks the ball up on the head, on it running. He chip kicks over, sidestep, spins out of the tackle, then out muscles the player and speeds his way to the try line. That's ridiculous.
Did I tell you a few minutes ago he's good?
That's ridiculous.
What's next up from Megastar? So you go Superstar, Megastar. What's after that?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, this is a play.
Give up some of your skill. That's just greedy. Look at the balance there. The strength, the power, the balance, the step. That's not easy. Try doing that at speed. Spinning out of the tackle, running, punching off players.
I tell you what, as he did that, flashback, 2013 World Cup here, Sonny Bill Williams. Remember that run? He did all of that, except for the chip over the top. And then he slipped over the dead ball line and he became Sonny Blue Williams with a mistake. But Joseph Manu, he got it right there. I mean, that is some couple of minutes, isn't it? I mean,
it certainly
is. That's
is.
Amazing play. 2 tries back to back.
You know, New Zealand struggling, cometh the hour, cometh the man. That's exactly what you need from your big game players.
So Rapin again with that sort of dab kick over the black dot. But Joseph Manu, again, we stress to you, this guy does not play fullback week to week. He's just an incredible player with the one on his back.
I mean, but for the Sydney Roosters, this is a guy you got to get the ball in his hands as much as possible. The centre position is one of those positions where you get it in your hands really as least as possible. But, you know, we know how good he is.
Yeah, the wingers get the ball more than the centres these days. Manu, what a moment in Warrington. Away he goes. Short kick-off again. But New Zealand have found the answers to that now. And they have scored back-to-back tries. And look who's with the ball. It is that fellow by the name of Joey Manu. So I think Robbie Farah's been sent off here. Robbie Farah's been sent off by referee Atkins.
I think it's...
Well, this is interesting. And now Dwayhe going to the sideline. What has happened here?
It's Dwayhe's been sent off.
Adam Dwayhe
He's sent off for 10 minutes.
Is gone off the field. So there's some dramas here with Lebanon. And they are down a man now. I mean, Grant Atkins, it seemed like a very frustrated referee, Grant Atkins there.
What, was it dissent?
Well, you can only imagine that he maybe got both barrels from both player and trainer. I'm not sure. So here comes James Fisher-Harris for the Kiwis. We'll work it out later. What we do know, New Zealand are threatening to post a third straight try here. They've got it to the corner. And this time the scramble can't stop Rapana going over. The veteran Jordan Rapana scores for the Kiwis. The Lebanon side on tilt a little here. It is 3 consecutive tries to New Zealand.
I think this is the energy battle here. New Zealand just sitting a platform in the middle of the park and then just able to play numbers. That man once again, Joey Manu, picking out Jordan Rapana out on the right-hand side in space, just out the back there. You can see Joey Manu, yep, with 3-on-1 position. And look, Jordan Rapana, he doesn't need an invitation to the try line.
It's proving to be quite a profitable night in terms of points for Jordan Rapana. Now 33 years of age. They've got a few 30-somethings in their side. The captain, of course, Jesse Bromwich, Kieran Foran. They're very much veteran class, but that's probably one of the features of this side. There is some young talent coming through, the likes of Dylan Brown, just 22 years of age, and then you got Blake's 11 years his senior in the side.
I mean, I think that's a great example of, you know, you need that balance.
confirmation it was dissent from Adam Dwayhe, but I just wonder the circumstances of it. It's short kick-off, and play, for all intents and purposes, was going to just keep going, but Grant Atkins reacted. It must have been quite, as we put it in Australia, quite the gobful.
Well, you were talking about how New Zealand had adapted to it. What they did was they put a screen on. They didn't move, and what happened was the Lebanon players ran into that screen and all fell to the ground, and I think that was the trigger.
So you're acting as legal defence now for Adam Dwayhe, are you?
Well,
Mr.
no, I didn't know what he said.
Hunter Paul, you may speak, address the judge.
No one's ever given me that platform before.
All right, so now Dwayhe has to throw it over to Mitchell Moses. What's his kickoff going to be? He goes long. He's gone long. He's gone real long. He's kicked it into the stand. And you don't get a choice of the soft toy for that.
Kicked it into tomorrow. They went that long.
Yes. That's the eastern stand he booted it into.
It's still going.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good souvenir to have. Thought the ball was filled with helium. It went that far. This is a chance for 4 straight tries for New Zealand now. And I say it again, I think this is a Lebanon side suddenly for the first time in the game. They're on tilt. They've lost their way here. Jesse Bromwich on the run. 17 minutes remaining. 34-12 scoreline. 18-6 it was at half-time. Brown floats it over the top. He's put it into the fence as well. Well, these players, someone needs to go with a whiteboard and tell them about the dimensions of the ground, how long it is and how wide it is. One kick too long, one pass too wide.
And that's time on the ball there. Dylan Brown can see. You can see that there's space out there. But Mulitalo, he's just not up to speed on that. Their timing is out.
Skids into the terrace. It's beautiful stuff. Oh, dear. Fisher Harris, I don't know what he thought. He was hanging on to the ball. Lebanon with a restart of play, centre field. So they're back with it. So the error count for New Zealand, it continues to mount. Area that they will need to improve on as the cup goes along. Wingers have tried really hard for Lebanon. Mansour and Miski have played like they had the intention of being the busiest players out there. This time El Zakhem with it. He's held his own as well. Never played in the NRL. Good player in the second tier in Australia for Parramatta. Last tackle for Lebanon inside their own half. And Moses to kick long. But Manu has it. And back he will come. Joseph Manu. We've got him down for 23 carries of the football tonight. And you've seen some of his sublime skills on show. This time with Hiku. Jeremy Marshall-King is out there in his first test match for New Zealand. I don't think there would be any prouder brother tonight on the planet than Benji Marshall. 31 tests for New Zealand to see Jeremy in the black and white. This time Nakora goes off the mark. Feels like the steam has gone out of the game after those tries. Lebanon got back within 6. Kenny Bromwich with the ball this time. 5 tackles up. Marshall King, left side with Brown. Tries chip over the top. Here comes Dickel Klukstar. Here comes Karaz. Lebanon fullback with the ball. He's not in the Manu class, but he's a very promising player. Jacob Karaz playing fullback for Lebanon. And a set restart this time for Lebanon. And Miski's come in off the wing for yet another run. And just on those stats, we've got Miski with 17 carries of the ball. This time Morkos back up to halfway. So the Cedars with Moses, a juggling ball there. All right, shoulder in the tackle, no attempt to wrap. You heard referee Atkins.
Yeah, the game's just gone back into that sort of arm wrestle, hasn't it? You know, something that you see generally at the opening 10 minutes of a game. Whereas this game was actually quite exciting.
Let's see if they can...
I mean, New Zealand just seemed to be going through the phases. They did pick up their defence before.
Such is the situation. Obviously, points differential so important in the pool games. Lebanon don't want to lose by a space. If they can get a third try here, that'd be handy. There's another strip. And this time New Zealand knock on. He's right on it. Referee Grant Atkins.
Great opportunity here for Lebanon. I mean, it's a shame they're a player down. They need everything that they could get at the moment. Energy levels are pretty low, but it's a great opportunity to test New Zealand's defence. They've had about, the last 3 sets back to back.
My head goes to strange places, Robbie. What if Adam Dwayhe descent was in Lebanese? Would Atkins know? Why do it in English? You could probably get away with it in Lebanese.
Can he speak Lebanese?
Oh, Adam can, sure he can.
Okay.
I'm
That's
just
a
saying,
start.
maybe that's a lesson learned. 20 metres away from the
microphones. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You get into trouble afterwards.
It was just a really odd one. It was
so quick.
Back of play, and Atkins just reacted. So it had to be a big spray.
It is one of those things, though. It's a schoolboy error. You know, you're never going to beat the referee.
Now Carraz with the ball for Lebanon. 12 metres away from the New Zealand line. And here we go with Abbas Miski again. What an effort he has put in. One of the try scorers for Lebanon. 12 metres from the line. Tanous waiting at dummy half. No speed about to play the ball. Kalachi with a nice little bit of footwork and a roll pass. And El Nashar goes back for it. They are still inside the New Zealand 20. Tanous, right side Moses, then Mansour, the wingers again. You don't see the centres. 15 from the line. El Zakim not able to pass there. Or he did in the end. Tanous and Moses. Now Kalachi. One man down, just struggling to put it together. Last tackle. Moses brings Carraz into the play. They go through the hands, maybe knocked down by the Kiwis. It was. Tackle count restarts Lebanon.
Great test for New Zealand here. I think they've done 18 tackles on the bounce. Let's see if they can hold them out.
The Cedars with another opportunity. Moses there for Josh Marie. By the same token, Michael Maguire would want to see really solid goal line defence here. Carraz off the left. Lovely flick pass to Tanous, kept it alive. Kalachi will have another run at them. So far, so good for the New Zealand defence. In back-to-back sets. Tanous again, he'll have a little go himself. Swamped in the tackle of Marshall King. Still on for Lebanon. Moses and El Zakim with a run. Kenny Bromwich went low. Marshall King over the top. Tanous, it's put down by El Nashar. Down it goes. And New Zealand back with the ball. Just couldn't keep the pressure up, Lebanon.
They've got to turn and defend now. You know, great work from New Zealand's defence. I think they were really tested then. I counted 22 tackles on the bounce there, back-to-back sets, knockdowns, ball going back to one again, scrums, and they were able to hold their line. Michael Maguire will definitely be happy with that.
Big Nelson's just come back onto the field for the Kiwis, and it's time to run. Ronaldo Molitalo with the ball for New Zealand, offloading for Brown. Lebanon jerseys coming from every direction. 9 metres away from the line, the Kiwis. Switch to the right side, he wants another go. Ronaldo.
The Kiwis have got 2 front rowers in their back line out here.
So the ball with Joseph Manu. He tries to turn on the magic again. Pass on the bounce. Kenny Bromwich at left wing. Kenny Bromwich. Almost plummeted over there. Last tackle. This will be a miracle if Lebanon hang on. That ball over the head of Marshall King. Asava Solomona. Back to Marshall King. Then a kick over the top. Everyone's offside. And Marshall King makes the tackle. Lebanon have found a way to hang on.
Oh, they've done a great job there. Lebanon has scrambled back. They sorted their defence out. They sorted their defence out quicker than New Zealand could sort their attack out. Like I pointed out, you had two backs out here in the left-hand wing, but great break by Mulitalo there. New Zealand is just getting all tangled up in one another and just not getting enough time and space just to set up that next play.
Now there's 8 minutes to go, so second half, you do the math, 16 points to 6. It's not as if the Kiwis have run away with it.
No, the Lebanon have not given up, not one little bit. They've kept going. They're still carrying the ball hard now. They're trying to get up the field. They're trying to play rugby league. They're not throwing in the towel.
Some of the tackle counts for Lebanon tonight. El Zakim, Romanos, 33 tackles each. Kalachi, 28. Kick here on the bounce to Ronaldo Mulitalo. We were told the Kangaroos players went along to Old Trafford today to watch Manchester United play Newcastle, a scoreless draw, but still a great thrill to go to the Theatre of Dreams. New Zealand twice beaten at Old Trafford in World Cup finals, and here they are attacking 25 metres away from the Lebanon line. Rapana now, centre field with Foran. And then Manu, I've lost count of the tackle busts. I've had to take the socks off now to count. I've run out of fingers. He's had a big night. I think he's got man of the match written all over him, Joey Manu. Brown with it. Kenny Bromwich. Flick pass of beauty. Oh, come on. Referee Grant Atkins spoils the party. He says an obstruction play and all of that. Kenny saying, come on, Grant. Something.
There, two players trying to fit into the same space.
Yeah.
Great pass, though. No look pass behind the back. There we go, Kenny Bromwich there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, you could mount a case. The player who was contacted, Charles Clocksow, was actually behind the ball carrier. So, you know, it's a decision by the defence to come up that far. Anyway, we're losing his sleep over it. Lebanon are with the ball 10 metres inside their own half. And Bazaz on this carry. And then the ball comes loose, so it's got out of reach as far as any sort of miracle comeback from Lebanon. Errors have crept into their game now.
That comes with fatigue, right?
It does indeed. Here's Brown, Mulitalo. We've got a penalty again. There's the team in possession. They could just about draw a curtain on the two teams at the moment. The last 5 minutes has dead set been a dog's breakfast. I mean, there's been no rugby league played of any quality at all.
I think that's smart play there from Mitchell Moses. Yeah, Nickel Coxat, he got upstream.
Gone long.
But Mitchell Moses made the contact on him, and I think, you know, it's smart play. It's great gamesmanship.
Then kicks long, low and long. And here's Lebanon with another chance 15 metres out from the line. So Moses and Setterfield with our man Rami. Then Kalachi. Have they got a third try in them? Lebanon. Kazi is back with the dummy half duties. Takes them left. And then falling into the tackle was Tassapali. Moses is the key man here. Karaz, Rami, confronted by Foran. Low down was Asifa Solomona. Hiku, the third man in the tackle. Kazi has a little crack himself. And New Zealand on it. Manu's got his hands wrapped around the ball there. Slow play the ball. They will go short side. The wingers have had the best luck tonight. And there you go again. Another error by the team in possession.
I mean, it's been one of their favourite sides, and they're going to that left-hand side. They had the numbers. John Rapana here just coming off the line a little bit, but yeah, the pass has got to be on the money.
Okay, quiz show now.
Here we go.
For £1,000. Who's the Kazoo man of the match?
Okay, you know, I've seen some great players tonight. A player for Lebanon that's really stuck out for me has been Mitchell Moses, where he's skipped around, where he's led his team around. Joseph Tarpany, another player who's just led his, carried the ball so much.
Time out, you didn't get the answer in time.
Joey Manu.
Ah, what a shame.
Joey Manu is my player of the match.
Answer in time, yeah, no, you're right. He's won officially.
Oh, a little bit late, 99
Kazoo
quid.
man of the match.
99 quid.
No, nothing. I'll buy you a pie out the back later. Tell you what's good pie from the Rodney before the game. Good pie. On the back of having a Greg sausage roll for lunch. I've gone sausage roll pie, lunch, dinner. Living the dream, folks. Yep. Living the dream. Asifa Solomona with the ball. So the Kiwis in possession. And just confirming, so Dwayne was sent off, not sin binned.
Yeah.
He was sent off. Now, sent off for foul and abusive language, not sin bin, a send-off. Hiku kicks the ball through. I presume there wouldn't be a suspension with it, but it'd be a serious blow to the chances of Lebanon if that happened. Krasnow blowing up a treat. Not much is going right for them now. Poor old Lebanon.
You know what, Bossy? I'm 46. I started playing rugby league when I was 4.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone win an argument with a referee.
No,
Why do it? Why do it?
No, that's right.
I'm waiting for the day where they do win it.
Yeah. It's
not going to happen.
Well, I tell you what, this game is limping to the line. Now we've got a captain's challenge with 90 seconds to go. We'll hear about this one.
Video referee to match director. We've got captain's challenge, and we're looking at the live call of loss by Lebanon. So your best angles, please, of the ball. So he's in possession of the ball at this point. He's looking to stay in the field of play. In the field of play. The ball's still in the field of play there. And we just roll it through.
It's got to determine whether the tackle was complete.
Just keep it rolling through, please. Yeah, and he loses possession of the ball. That constitutes a knock-on. Challenges unsuccessful.
Challenge unsuccessful, New Zealand.
There you go. They rule against Lebanon. On the front page of the Beirut Bugle. The decision's gone against them with 90 seconds to go.
I think Karaz was just getting up to say that the New Zealand foot dragged over it then. I think he's got an argument.
Well,
I disagreed with the video ref all night.
Go down and tell Mitchell it ain't going to work arguing.
Yeah.
You know, because Atkins can say, well, the bunker's made the call now. You know,
exactly. It's out of his hands.
It's gone.
Isn't that a great out for referees? Hey, I never made the call. Hey, out of my hands.
Well, he did. See, Atkins here has said play on, play on, but he does rule knock on, and they challenge it. So.
Yeah. Look, he actually looking at it, he's probably not wrong there. But a great opportunity for New Zealand. We're talking about points difference.
New Zealand with the last chance. Manu, here he is on the spin. Joey Manu, another offload, and a penalty conceded in possession. Oh, these boys. No casino tonight for you. You're way out of luck. I mean,
again, same play, another lead runner going through, making contact.
Is that the third penalty they have given away in this last 20 minutes while in possession?
In an attacking position as well.
Well, the game's turned into a bludger. I mean, we're going to call it as we see it. Michael Maguire, he should have gone home early.
They don't look happy, do they? They look a bit frustrated.
No, it's not. That's not over the top there from Michael Maguire. That's really frustrated. We often use the term clunky attack. This is clunky with a capital Cl. Now Rami with the ball. So Lebanon will have last use of the football in this one. Lebanon have a big game to play against Ireland. New Zealand, well, they will roll the sleeves up against Jamaica. Set restart. Moses, kick. Probably offside was Spence, or it's gone over the sideline. Ooh, dear. I think it's time to call it off, folks. And there it is. Well, for 60 minutes, it was very good entertainment. The last 20 sort of reflected in the face of Michael Maguire. There is work to be done. Lebanon had a good go. They got it back to 18 points to 12. But at full time, let the record show, the margin is 22. New Zealand, with that man starring, he's player of the match, Joseph Manu. Some simply brilliant touches in the second half. At full time, New Zealand 34, defeating Lebanon 12. The stats will show us 26 errors at the finish. A lot of penalties conceded whilst in possession, which is really inexcusable. You can have one. At an extreme, you can have two, but to have 3 or 4 in a match.
At this level, yeah, you're right. And you're looking at their timing. You're looking at combinations. You're looking at players not turning up in the right space at the right time, overrunning plays, getting into the line. We saw those 3 penalties at the back end of the game. And this, I got to argue that this is what these opening rounds are about. It's about working out those combinations. What's going to be the best combinations for when you hit the playoffs?
Yes, I think quick post-mortem from 48 hours of this World Cup. Well, a little over 20.